I'm John Cohen from Nextlaws, part 3 of our stunt driving video collection. As per the new Mums Moving Ontario More Safely Act, you've just finished now your 14-day roadside impoundment and your 30-day license suspension after being charged with stunt driving or racing in Ontario under Section 172(1) of the Highway Traffic Act. So now what happens? You have a court date between 2 to 6 months in the future. So the real question is what now? And let's take a closer look at that. So what happens? The charge has just begun. The impound and the suspension were the immediate roadside penalties, but now you have to prepare for court in order to defend or address your charges. And you're charged with stunt driving under Section 172(1) of the Highway Traffic Act, and that includes the following penalties, which I like to put in each video so you understand. The fines can be a minimum fine of $2,000 and a maximum fine of $10,000. The demerit points are 6, jail up to 6 months, probation 2 years, license suspension not less than 1 year, and not more than 3 years for a first offense. So, when you attend court, is it Zoom? I'm confused. Well, as of now, all court dates in Ontario are virtual. This means that you're either attending by Zoom or by phone. The date on the front of your ticket, somewhere in the middle of your summons, is called a first appearance. And your first court date, that first appearance, this is the first time that you will appear before the court for your stunt driving or racing charge. First appearances are usually scheduled, like I said, between 4 to 12 weeks. It can, vary a little bit after the police charge you. And this time delay allows the police to properly gather all the evidence that has to be included in your disclosure, which they're required to submit at court. And now, will all the evidence be read at my first appearance? Maybe. Occasionally, the evidence against you may not be ready by the time you arrive at your first appearance. If this is the case, the court will simply just set another court date, which gives the court and the prosecutor more time to get the evidence package together. When I get my disclosure, is that all the evidence? And that's a good question, but not necessarily. And this is a very important point to know. Even when you get your disclosure from the prosecutor, that does not mean that you have all the evidence against you. In fact, your disclosure package may be missing some key evidence. If you suspect that anything is missing, any evidence is missing, you can ask the court and the prosecutor for that additional evidence, because that's your right. And getting all your evidence is critical for you to be able to make an informed decision on how you want to proceed with your case through the court system. So another good question is, will the police officer that charged me be at my first appearance in court? No, they won't. The police officer is not required to be at your first appearance. If your case goes to trial, then yes, the police officer that charged you will be called upon to speak to the evidence that he or she has against you. So is this first appearance my trial date? No, it is not. Your first appearance is not a trial, and that's important to understand. It is the first time that you are appearing before the court for your stunt driving or racing charge. If you decide that you want to have a trial, then your trial date will be set at some point in the future, and that date may be days, weeks, or months in the future, but your trial will not happen on your first appearance. Another question, do I have to attend my first appearance? Well, if you've hired a lawyer, then no, you don't have to attend your first appearance. They'll attend on your behalf. But if you have not hired a lawyer and you're going to represent yourself, then yes, you need to attend your first appearance and all of your court dates. So what are the next steps before you attend your first appearance? Well, the 14-day impound and the suspension was just the beginning. Now you have to deal with your actual charges in court, and a stunt driving conviction can have serious penalties that I've outlined above, such as this mandatory 1 to 3 year license suspension, which has been updated as of June 2021, and again, $10,000 in fines, 6 months in jail. These are penalties that will impair your ability to work and to drive. These are the penalties that will have a serious impact on your civil liberties, and these are the penalties that you need to be focused on. These penalties should be enough. They should be enough reason to get legal advice and a strategy that will help keep you driving in Ontario.